Well, I think that we've seen that drive in certain sections of the media, which have sought to portray Britain as some kind of fundamentally racist hellscape, which is full to the brim with bigoted reactionary throwbacks. But the reality of the matter is, Darren, that's just not reflected in existing survey data. This latest study produced by British Future very much shows that we are a country which is very much at ease with diversity. While the public may well appreciate that there are complications that come with diversity, when it comes to political leadership, the vast majority of the country, in the region of 85%, would be comfortable if the next prime minister was of an ethnic minority background. And around 3 in 4 people believe that ethnic diversity is now part of British culture as opposed to posing a threat to it. So I suspect that we haven't heard much about this because it doesn't really fit much of the narrative setting which we have seen in recent times in terms of portraying Britain as a very difficult place to live if you are a member of an ethnic minority, which is simply not the case.
I mean, Rakib, what do you reckon about this 14% who don't fully back a minority prime minister? I mean, ultimately, do you think that actually at least a small percentage of the 14% may well be looking at there are certain communities in Britain, and Rakib, you have written about this. I've read it with real interest. There are certain communities that perhaps they feel removed, actually, from British society, might not speak the language, yada, yada, yada. Maybe actually that's the resentment that is created from certain sections of the British public that were polled here. Do you think that's it? Am I onto something, or talking complete and utter nonsense?
No, I wouldn't say that at all, Dan. I think that Britain remains one of the most successful examples of a post World War II diverse democracy in the world. But we mustn't rest on our laurels. There's no room for complacency. We do have an issue when it comes to closed off, segregated communities, especially in a string of post industrial towns across northern England. And we also see that in some of our inner city areas as well. So I think there is much work to be done in terms of cultivating social cohesion. I think we have to be very wary of the threat of what I consider to be American style identity politics, which does pose a threat to British community relations. The UK and the US have very different national histories, especially when it comes to race. So I think that we really need to focus on the UK, try to boost equality of opportunity, but also provide a political space for people to air their grievances, especially when it comes to matters of social cohesion.